it is kind of crazy to look back on it and think that you have Yo Gotti, who's traditionally always been pretty tight-lipped, pretty quiet about beef and everything, and then all of a sudden he's got this new artist who is just acting a fool, doing all the craziest shit, pulling up to people's neighborhoods, making Instagram videos, etc. All this stuff that you don't see anybody associated with CMG doing that stuff. You don't really see a lot of rappers besides like, more underground guys doing that type of shit in general these days, just because I think people are a little bit more aware of how much the cops are watching them on social media and everything. But
Yo Gotti may have just sparked a dangerous storm in Memphis, and it is happening inside his own camp. What's unfolding right now has the whole hip-hop world tense. Behind CMG's massive success, pressure has been building for years, and now it's finally blown up into something that could get deadly fast. The real story behind what is tearing apart one of Memphis' most powerful teams is way darker and way more complicated than people think, and today we're breaking it all down. What's good, fam? We're diving straight into some real street tension that's shaking the entire rap scene. This isn't rumor, this isn't cloud chasing. This is about loyalty, betrayal, ego, and how quickly everything can fall apart when pride gets involved and old scars get ripped open again. Now let us be real. Social media has been going crazy trying to figure out why Blac Youngsta suddenly wiped CMG from his bio and announced he is moving independently. But we're here to cut through the noise, to separate facts from internet fantasy, because trust me, this situation is way deeper than a typical artist versus label problem. Just a few days ago, everything shifted inside CMG. Blac Youngsta, the same artist who rode the hardest for Yo Gotti, the one who stood frontline during the Young Dolph drama, suddenly broke away and started firing subliminals that made everybody stop and pay attention. He dropped cryptic posts, and when Yo Gotti finally reacted, that's when things really exploded. But before anyone thinks this is just another rapper saying he's going solo, understand this is personal. These weren't just business partners, they were like brothers. They built something powerful together, stood against enemies together. But here's where it gets wild when the main threat disappears. Sometimes the real conflict starts inside the crew. Here is what makes it even crazier. Every year Blac Youngsta goes viral for the same move, removing CMG from his bio and claiming independence. Last year he did it right before Yo Gotti's birthday, then still pulled up like nothing happened. But this time feels different. The vibe is darker, the energy is hostile, and the messages he is posting aren't just about going solo. They array about respect, loyalty, and exposing fake love. Youngsta jumped online dropping heavy words, talking about standing on his own, not fearing consequences, and demanding respect with or without CMG behind him. It didn't sound like a publicity stunt. It sounded like someone ready to burn bridges and face whatever comes with it. And right now, the streets are watching, hip-hop is watching, and this situation could go left at any moment. Because when business mixes with history, pride, loss, and street energy, it rarely ends peacefully. Stay locked in, because the story is only getting crazier. That's some serious heat he was throwing. He's basically saying he's got nothing left to lose, because everyone he cared about is already gone. But this story goes way deeper than an artist being emotional online. Blac Youngsta followed up with another message, and this one was clearly aimed at Yo Gotti. He wrote, "These dudes are CB4, still fooling the youth like they're real mob bosses. I'm done with the fake. I'm setting the real example. And if you know hip-hop history, you know calling someone CB4 is one of the harshest insults in the culture. CB4 was literally about fake gangstas pretending to be tough. So Youngsta is basically accusing Gotti of playing a character, pretending to be a mob boss, instead of actually living that life. But here's where it cuts even deeper. Yo Gotti built his entire image around that boss identity. His whole name is inspired by John Gotti, one of the most famous mafia leaders in history. He's referenced mob culture in interviews, in music, and in branding. So Blac Youngsta wasn't just dissing him. He was attacking the very thing Gotti built his empire on. Then Youngsta took it even further. He went on a rant about fake OGs, fake big brothers, fake CEOs, fake leaders, and at one point in his life, he used every single one of those titles for Yo Gotti. So there's zero doubt about who those shots were meant for. But Yo Gotti didn't stay silent. No. He clapped back the most calculated way possible. He dropped 3 pictures with the caption "Nothing Bigger, Unbreakable," while blasting Jay-Z's Dynasty intro. And nothing Gotti posts is ever random. That intro has bars that speak straight to this moment, mob references, power statements, and one line that hits hard: clap whoever stands between Sean and figures. Translation: anyone that comes between business, money, or power gets removed, period. And if Blac Youngsta is now viewed as a threat to CMG, you can read the message loud and clear. So why now? Why did things finally explode after years of tension? Many believe it traces back to the young Dolph situation. After the recent courtroom twist and the tension surrounding CMG's name being dragged into the case, pressure inside the camp hit a breaking point. And through it all, Blac Youngsta was the loudest voice against Dolph, even after his death. That created backlash CMG didn't want. Rumor is, that's when the real cracks between him and Gotti started forming. Now, what we're seeing isn't just rap drama. This is about power, control, respect, ego, and an artist who feels like he refuses to be silenced anymore. And here's the scary part: if this doesn't get handled, this situation could turn dangerous fast. Yo Gotti moves like a chess player, smart, connected, powerful. Youngsta moves with energy, emotion, and unpredictability. That combination is explosive. Yo Gotti is at a point in his career where his power and influence reach far beyond street connections. He has relationships, resources, and access that make things move quietly. When someone reaches that level of status, situations can get handled in strategic and subtle ways. That's what makes it so dangerous, because when a person with real influence gets involved, the game changes completely. People in the streets have been comparing what is happening now to the tension that existed during the Young Dolph feud. If you rewind, Dolph revealed that back in 2012, when he started really blowing up in Memphis, Yo Gotti approached him with a CMG deal. Dolph rejected it, and according to him, that's when things soured. He even claimed Gotti downplayed his own artists and hyped Dolph up like he was different, which Dolph didn't respect. It felt like manipulation, and that energy sits at the root of a lot of what we're seeing now. Fast forward to today, and we're seeing something similar with Blac Youngsta. He keeps talking about fake loyalty, fake love, and people pretending for too long. He said he's fine standing on his own, accepts that he trusted the wrong people, and he's done pretending everything is okay. That sounds like someone who feels deeply betrayed. Someone who devoted himself to a camp and now feels like that loyalty wasn't returned. Adding the fact that he's lost so many people close to him, and you're dealing with a man who feels like he truly has nothing left to lose. And that kind of person is always dangerous. This situation isn't just about Yo Gotti and Blac Youngsta. It's about loyalty, power, control, and what happens when the foundation of a relationship starts to collapse. It shows how the industry can take people who once moved like family and turn them into rivals. When money, pride, and outside pressure get involved, it is also a reminder that choices made during beef don't just disappear, they come back around. The bigger concern is whether this can be calmed before it escalates further. Memphis has already lost too many major figures to violence. Young Dolph is gone, Big Juk is gone, Youngsta's brother is gone. How many more losses does it take before something changes? For Yo Gotti, this becomes a test of leadership. Does he fix things and restore peace within the camp? Or does he allow the situation to spiral and risk even more fallout? For Blac Youngsta, this becomes about how he wants his legacy defined, as someone who stood loyal regardless of issues, or someone who ends up going to war with the very people who helped elevate him. Right now, everyone is watching to see what happens next, because history in Memphis has shown that once things reach this level, it rarely ends quietly. Loyalty matters, but so does knowing when to step back. Even though in Memphis, that's never an easy decision. If you look at the pattern over the years, Memphis has always been a city filled with incredible talent, but also a city where pride, territory, and history play a huge role in how relationships develop and fall apart. What makes this situation even heavier is that it isn't happening between strangers or distant rivals. This is happening between people who once trusted each other, built together, celebrated wins together, and faced enemies side by side. When that type of bond breaks, the fallout always hits different. There's also the business side that can't be ignored. CMG isn't just a rap crew, it's a major corporation now. There are partnerships, corporate deals, brand relationships, and millions of dollars on the line. Anything that damages the CMG name affects far more than just the artists. It impacts employees, families, upcoming artists, and the city's image as a whole. That's why every move from Yo Gotti seems calculated. He has more to lose than ever. One wrong move could damage everything he spent decades building. Blac Youngsta, on the other hand, represents raw emotion, authenticity, and someone who refuses to be controlled. He has made it clear that he won't stay quiet for the sake of business, politics, or public image. To him, respect matters more than structure. That's what makes this clash so serious: business logic versus emotional truth, corporate power versus street loyalty. As things continue to unfold, the hope is that cooler heads eventually prevail. Because if it doesn't get resolved, not only does Memphis lose, but hip-hop loses too. A city already scarred by tragedy does not need another chapter written in blood. At some point, something has to change before history repeats itself again.